Hello. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm so excited to be here, spending this time this week with you on your smartphones, on your laptops, and in your computer rooms with you. Thank you all so much for having me, having us, myself, and all the other ladies here who will be a part of this conference this week. It's exciting to be able to take the moment to share the gifts that God has put in each one of us to allow us to feed and exchange with you. I hope you guys will participate. I hope you will ask questions in the comments, share, like, share, and comment on the videos and so forth. Let us know that you're here. Be happy to meet you and spend some additional time with you. First and foremost, we want to just thank God for the opportunity to have this sort of environment to which we can stretch across all sorts of lines, right? Whether it is, technology lines or international lines and so forth, to just kind of bring us all into each other's living rooms and be able to spend time with each other. Thank you so much for this opportunity as well, CWBN. Just having a great access to share our words of wisdom and hopefully meet some new friends and sisters of Christ. That'd be super fantastic. Having said all of that, who am I, right? I'm Rayshoun Chambers. I'm so excited. I didn't even tell you who I am. I'm Rayshoun Chambers. I'm the founder and CEO of RAC Venture Group. My company and we work with small to medium-sized businesses. And what we focus on is operational efficiency. So essentially, we go in and make certain that whatever the initial concepts are, whether it's a new project, a new program, or a new business altogether, what we do is we look at that concept and we look at the end vision that you'd like to achieve or that the company is targeting to achieve. And then what we work to do is to establish bricks of strategy, and we provide the tactical mortar to bring it all together for the business such that things are lean in the business and they can move from concept to cash flow. Okay, so that's the primary focus of RAC Venture Group. In addition to having those types of engagements on a daily basis, one of the things that we've been leveraged for is our coaching and development and leadership. Leadership is mission critical to every business, whether it is a corporation of epic proportion or whether we're small mom and pop. We have got to be leaders and occupy in leadership in our own space, right? So that part is very, very important. So we look to, assist as we're able in other areas as well with regards to business size and business need. Now, in addition to that, to tell you just a little bit about me, I have, by God's grace, I have now become an international best-selling author. And I'm really excited about that because it was the path to get there that has strengthened me so much more from a character development perspective. The content and information that's shared in the two anthologies that I've been a part of tapped into parts of my life that allowed me to get to that truth. See, there's a part in our life and our development where truth is mission critical to us being able to know how we engage with people, what people need from us, but what can we actually deliver to them in a healthy, fulfilling manner, our own time management skills. What do you really like versus what people believe you to like? And is that okay to others? And if they're not okay with it, are you? So that whole path of self-discovery and acknowledgement and things like that, that happens when you write. And I know that if there are other writers out there, you know exactly what I mean. You know that those things help you to tap into aspects of your life that while you were experiencing, maybe you didn't really, grasp. It was like out of body. And now when you actually take the time to write it down and tell the truth, it's so humbling, and it will help you to grow. But here's the thing, that's not even what I want to share with you today. What I want to talk to you about in the scheme of dreaming big, dream big. I think it is a fantastic concept for this particular conference because we need to do that. We need to tap into and dream that what most folks may call an impossible dream, but be willing to do that because we're able and we're capable people. But to commit to doing that and then execution on it, now that's just fantastic. And that's what's important. Dreams are phenomenal. Execution, leads to the delivery and the accomplishment, achievement of those dreams. And so what I wanted to share with you today, I was taking it just all the way back to those of you who may actually be thinking about becoming an entrepreneur. Maybe you're working every day right now in a job where you love it or you like it, or maybe you really don't. And you're becoming even more motivated to go ahead and start your own business or become more serious in your business, or to flip the script altogether and walk away from where you are now and go ahead on and embrace your entrepreneurship. So if any of that is you, or if it's someone that you know and love, please share the video with them, invite them into this conference, and let them get an opportunity as well to try and establish some of this, get some of this content for themselves and establish their own notes. Get yourself an accountability partner so that you guys can compare notes at the end of this entire conference. I think it's going to be a great time. Now, what I've done, one of the things I do to keep myself on track, I have notes just over here. So they're going to allow me to make certain that I don't talk your head completely off, but at the same time, I don't miss something that's really, really important. So we'll just go ahead on and jump into it. One of the biggest things when you're trying to determine, well, what should I do? Or maybe you already know what you want to do from an entrepreneurial perspective is now you want to go ahead on and operate in that gift. So maybe for you, it's writing, or maybe it's a restaurant, or maybe it's a technology company. It could be any specific thing. The one and first nugget I will share with you is do your research. Please do your research. Sometimes one of the biggest mistakes I see entrepreneurs make is this vision right here. And they know what they want to do, and they are completely focused on whatever their design concept is, or whatever that go-to-market strategy is. Corporations do this a lot as well. They'll get in a conference room and just focus on what they are building. But somebody, and if it's you as an entrepreneur looking to establish your own business, then you have to be the one to take a look at the research. What's happening in the marketplace already? Who are your identified competitors in the marketplace? Why do people like it? What are their issues with it? Right? So if you want to design the next automobile, then what other automobiles have a design or a concept similar to yours? I'm sure that the big green automaker that makes the six-figure vehicle took some time to say, well, there's nobody out here that's doing this right now. And if they're doing it on a hybrid level. I want to just do it from a clean energy perspective. And so there's a lot of research that goes into knowing who your competition is. Or maybe you make donuts. You're a great sweet treat maker and you're a great pastry chef in your own right? Why do people buy sweets? Is it just special occasions? Is it just a sweet tooth? Get to know who your customers are, ask questions, and listen, use the free resources, guys. Use the free stuff. I'm not saying go out here and spend all of this money on market research. I'm just compelling you to first, just don't go out blind. Try not to go out blind. Do the research on what's happening in the marketplace. Do polls on social media that's free of charge. Ask around and then write these things down. Don't just try to keep them in your head, right? Ask these things while you have the opportunity to do it, right? If you happen to be one of those very fortunate, and let me just sidebar here and say you are very fortunate if you are currently still working and you are working also in your gift and you haven't flipped the switch to be 100% full-time entrepreneur, don't beat yourself up for that. You are very fortunate, but how are you using that time? There should be hardcore strategies and deadlines associated, right? And deliverables to your development time that you're spending, because that daily money that you're getting in should be funding your vision, your dream, right? So in order to do that, you want to have specific profit plan associated with your business, which brings me to our next point here. Pardon me, I want to be sure that stays up so I can see. So you're going to be certain that you know your research and know your competition. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road is, why are you even doing it? Why are you even doing it? Be sure And I know by now you have heard people ask you, well, what's your why? Why are you in this business? You know, is it because you don't want to get up early in the morning anymore? You want to be able to make your own schedule? You're tired of the alarm clock going off? Are you tired of having more month than money? Are you over, you know, what is it? Or maybe it's none of those things, and you just want to be fulfilled in giving. And maybe your business is such a service delivery business that you want to be able to operate more in the giving aspect. And so, you know, that's the type of business model that you're designing. But whatever it is, be very clear as to why you are in business, because undoubtedly there will come a crossroads that you're going to have to make a decision that says, I'm going to press forward, and I'm only pressing forward because of my why when things get tough. Now, that's going to be personal for everyone. Some people will do it for their children. Some people are in a business and they've taken over a family business. And so their why is because of a commitment, an emotional, sentimental commitment that they've made to keep the family name alive, different things like that. So everybody, each one of us has a different one. But you need to know what yours is before you go too far down the path. And my next point is around mentorship. That's so important. If you're about to open up a mechanic shop, a floral shop, hair studio, it really doesn't matter. There is not a business type or person among us who does not need or that does not require a business mentor. Even when I worked in corporate America, and I'll share with you briefly that I have over 20 years experience in corporate America. I've worked from the front lines all the way to the boardroom. And I have stood up telesales divisions, cross sales divisions, mid-market sales divisions where they did not exist at all. And then I brought that concept from the cradle to the grave. And that includes business continuity planning, technical writing, all of those things in the mix. So when I say these things to you in terms of having a mentor, I can express to you more how mission critical that is. You need to be certain that the type of mentor you have is one who will listen to you. You need to be heard. What you need, what you want and desire to accomplish, that's got to be well received in a way of being heard. You also would need to be open, right, to the feedback that you obtain from the mentor. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Because that mentor, much like coaching, they'll drive you. But a good mentor can be that person who is more experienced or has a good amount of wisdom in the area that you are looking to go. And that can save you so much headache. It can save you so many errors. You're going to make your own errors and your own mistakes anyway. So try your best to leverage the wisdom and knowledge of others who have gone before you, or who are already on that path, right? So for example, one of the things that I looked to do when I was deciding that, I know I wanted to write, I wasn't prepared initially in my own mind to do my solo project. So I decided to take a studious route. And I said, you know what? I think I'll become a part of some anthologies. Let me cut my teeth on that. Let me learn and understand the back end process. And by doing that, by humbly submitting myself to learning something. This is somebody who's got all these years of experience, has done all this corporate writing and all this kind of stuff. Doesn't matter. I took all of that in the bowl and threw that out the window and just laid myself down to be taught, to get instruction, to find out the pitfalls. And by working with two different anthologies and two different publishing companies, guys, I've learned so much. I amassed so much knowledge in just that amount of time regarding anthologies and participations and launches and deliverables and timelines, and even again, myself and how to tap into the story and what to share and all those different things that would not have come if I did not elect to have a mentor that has gone through this process, who could help me along the way understand some of the things that was going on, the timelines or the terminology, things like that. right? So we know what we know. And sometimes you can be so new to a thing that you don't even know what you don't know. So I can't express it enough. It is very important to be certain that you obtain a mentor along the path to help ensure your ability to be successful, and then be willing to pay it forward, because somebody is always going to need what you have, right? We each learn from one another. So that's one of the most impactful things that we can do for ourselves, is admit that, having someone alongside to guide us is very important, and will definitely help ensure the level of success that we can have on our projects and so forth, right? That we're trying to accomplish. Here's something that I wanted to tell you about that no one said to me when when I said, I'm excited, I'm ready to start my own company. I feel it. I've prayed over it. When it's so, you say, hey, I got it, I'm ready. But nobody said anything to me about legal advice and consulting a lawyer before you actually just kind of roll that ball down the lane, right? So here's something that I would share with you is do that. It doesn't necessarily have to be, go get you a $10,000 retainer attorney and, those type things if your finances aren't set up like that or whatever. I mean, I'm a big, big supporter of making it make sense. Do things that are fiscally responsible in your business so you stay in business, okay? But you do need to be certain to consult an attorney as you're looking to put all of your pieces together. How are you set up from a tax perspective, LLC, S Corp, different things of that nature. And then with that, ensuring that all your paperwork is together. See, the thing about lawyers, because I don't know about you guys, but having grown up, I grew up in Washington, D.C., I moved to the state of Georgia, and I'm here in North Carolina. And even in all of that bopping around, the majority of the time when I hear people speak about attorney intervention or interaction, it's because something has gone wrong. They're calling for help, right? I'd like to see us get to that place where we are proactively reaching out for preventative measures with an attorney. So seek advice on things that you need to be structured from a legal perspective, whether that's your logos, whether that is your tagline on your business, your trademarks and all of that stuff. The reason why what I'm sharing, I feel, is so important to you is that the internet, particularly, the Facebooks and all of these social media outlets are flooded with so many start your own company opportunities. Join this multi-level marketing program. Get this free legal documentation.com kind of thing. And it's so many different things. The best thing you can ever really do for your business is to be sure that it is structurally sound. So make certain that, you take an opportunity to do that. After all, it is something that you love and that you didn't get into because you wanted it to go under in 30, 60, 90 days or within 5 years, right? So we're going to be smashing all of those kinds of thought processes and get your foundation right. So when you're right in here and you're ready in here, now you have to be certain that your paperwork and things are in alignment with what it is that you'd like to see happen. Okay. Now, the other thing is your network, right? So if you make floral arrangements and you've made all these arrangements, who in your network is going to buy them? Does anybody even know that your business already exists? Where do your clients or patrons shop today that when your business opens tomorrow, they're going to bring the dollar to you? Where are they? Okay, so the first thing is to be certain that you have a network. You need a network. There's so many people who kind of are bashful about that, right? You don't really want to meet new people too much, or, your friends that you have are friends of your family. Let's tackle that topic really quickly. Your family can love you, but it is not their job. It is not their job to support you and your business. So many people get in an uproar because they have jumped into this MLM and they're excited about this toothbrush that flips over backwards and spits out rainbows and all this fabulous stuff. And they just know that when they go to Thanksgiving dinner, they're going to show it to everybody and they're going to sell at least 15 different pieces. And when that doesn't happen, now they have discord with their family. Guys, don't do that. Please don't do that to your family, and don't do that to yourself. If your family begins to support your initiatives, that's fantastic. I'm all for it. That's great. But please, I don't care if it's multi-level marketing. I don't care if it is your own independent business, if it's a hot dog stand. Don't expect your relatives to come and buy a hot dog every day just because you made a conscious decision to go into business. That is not how business owners need to be thinking. If you make the best, great, grand, and wonderful gift cards and greeting cards, amen. Now let's get that into the marketplace where it needs to be. Do not put the pressure on the people who know and love you to feel like it is somehow now their responsibility to grow your business. All of us want our family and friends to support us. Don't get me wrong, we do. Don't get me wrong, we do. We want the support of our family and friends. If nothing else, at least emotional support, that atta girl, you can do it, right? We want that. In fact, in some aspects, if you're frank about it, you need some of that. But I would be remiss as a business line leader and coach if I didn't tell you that's not how you go into business. Fundamentally, if you're looking as an entrepreneur to be successful, to be a successful entrepreneur, to truly launch your business into revenue generation, then you cannot, no matter what the MLMs tell you about a hot list and a hot sheet and the 5 people you know and the 5 people who know them or the 20 more other people, please understand, you need a network. That is what you need. First, develop friendships, authentic friendships. Don't use people. Make sure that you're being authentic in your connection efforts. Okay. You know, I think you may have heard it said that your net worth is the equivalent of your network. So look at it today. If you are requiring your network to all buy one piece of anything that you have or one book of everyone that you've printed or what have you, you're probably going to be hungry in a couple days. Some of you all a couple weeks, and maybe others of you in a couple months. But you have got to be sure that you develop a true network of people who have like-minded focus as far as success measures go. There's an even exchange of both energy and information within your network so that you can grow from them and they can as well grow from you. And that you utilize all of these free tools that are truly out here for your indulgence and for your consumption. Yeah, there's a lot of great tools out here that will help a small business be very successful. I happen to be connected to a lot of phenomenal women who are doing great jobs and great works as far as operating with women in business. So I would love to connect with each of you on social media, plug you into some of the people in my network, right? I'm happy to do that. But I encourage you to ensure that you have a strong network. All right, that's so very, very, very important. Then I guess as I look to close and kind of give you back your time and thank you for spending it with me, would be the last thing is cash flow versus expenses in your business. You have cash flow that obviously, right? That's going to be the things that you sell or the services that you provide. And then of course you exchange for revenue in that respect, right? But expenses, y'all, that's the thing that we also can't turn a blind eye to. There's an expense associated with producing whatever the product is that you offer, whatever the service is that you provide. So if you are a hairstylist, there's some expenses, right, that's associated with that, whether that's your overhead or if it's the products that you use, the hair creams, the scissors, the top of the line shears, I guess. You know, I don't do no hair. When I say scissors, they're called shears, right? Y'all don't judge me. But what I do know is this. You have to know that expenses are going to be constant in the business. And cash flow has ebbs and flows, right? So some months or weeks or what have you would be better than others. But your expenses are that steady line that goes on across, right? So what we need to be able to do in our businesses is to know how we can create products, right? We need to be able to create and generate a product that functions in what I refer to as an off-season or in the off-season space. Some people have defined seasonal businesses. Your defined seasonal business might be you're the ice cream person, so you sell ice cream. So by virtue of the time of year, it's a defined time it's a seasonal business by virtue of the type of business that it is. Or, maybe it's food truck, or maybe you're in the food truck industry. So if you're in the food truck industry and you sell a certain type of food in the food truck industry, ice cream cones or something to that effect, right? So there's a way still that in the off season, you can monetize what you do, whether you are increasing and building out your base of clients. So you are now kind of casting a wider net to make certain that people become more and more aware of your brand. And in addition to doing that, maybe there's an ebook or something that you're publishing, because just like you have a food truck and you went through trials and tribulations and pitfalls and uphills to get that thing up, running and on the road, somebody else wants to know how to do it too. And maybe you can help them and create that product that gives them the information. Maybe you're doing some online training sessions, creating the product that gives them information. Well, what does that do? Of course, that's going to generate revenue, right? And you're going to be generating that revenue in the off season, preparing yourself for when your seasonality is coming to a close, and you're going to be able to jump straight in to cash flow mode for your season. So listen, there's just to recap, I just want to be sure that we go through it just one more time. We want to be certain that we research. Please do the research in your marketplace. If you have a passion, a love, a drive for something that you're trying to get done, research who your competitors are and know what's going on in that space. Know why you're doing exactly what it is that you're doing, so that you cannot be talked out of it elsewise. Nobody can come to you and change your mind when you know exactly why you are doing what it is that you are doing. I love the power in that in and of itself. And get yourself a mentor. And here's the funny part, guys, and I don't know if I said this earlier, but you don't always have to pay for everything, right? Social media is a mess with all sorts of opportunities out here, right? Get yourself a mentor that you can connect with, you can learn from by proxy, and strengthen yourself as you seek to continue to sharpen your teeth, because iron sharpens iron, so get in the midst of some really good people, which also goes back to the final point of having a network. Please don't forget your legal coverage. Don't get yourself out here and get so excited about your brand, start making revenue, and then have someone come along and tell you that you are using something that belongs to them. That phrase, that sentence, that what have you belongs to them, and somehow now you have to remove that from your brand or pay some large fines and stuff like that. So be sure that you are also keeping those things in mind. And lastly, I'm proud of you. I am very proud of you, and I don't even know you yet, but I'm proud of how you are allowing yourself to spend this time right now today to listen for at least one new thing that you probably didn't think about yet that you can start working on today. And when you do that, we call that wisdom, and wisdom is fantastic for growth and development. So absolutely, I am very proud of you. And again, my name is Rayshoun Chambers. You can find me on just about all of the social media outlets. But here's a direct link. You can go to bit.ly/2017 next steps. If you have gotten anything from what I shared today, if you want to hear anything more, or you need to be connected to someone, get in touch with me. Let me know, what industry are you in? What type of business do you have? If you have an interest in becoming one of the guests on my show, I happen to also host a radio show with the Den radio station. It's an internet Christian radio show. And my radio segment is called Business Beyond Borders. And I laugh now because I'm thinking immediately in my head, business does not have to be boring. And I say that a lot on the show because I believe that business does not have to be boring. So listen, if you're excited about what you have going on, maybe you want to share some of that information with the world, I'm happy to interview you on my show, and we can talk a little bit more about it. Again, I'm Rayshoun Chambers. The radio segment is called Business Beyond Borders, and you can get in touch with me at bit.ly/2017 next steps. Thanks so much for your time today. And again, many, many thanks to CWBN for this opportunity to speak with you today. I look forward from hearing from you. I look forward to hearing from you later on. 'Tis the season. Enjoy yourself, ladies.